want to confuse you guys with any of you guys being out here. So yeah, they went right back that drive right there.
Hey guys.
Thing of it is, I mean, I want to get all the info we can, but I don't want to get in their ass to where they get pissed off at us, because right now they're on our side.
Right.
I mean, they're telling us shit, like the info that I had earlier.
I'm videoing. Go ahead.
That I don't really want anybody to know, and I don't really want anybody to, or any of us to interfere with what they got to do during their job. Get off the road.
Fucking badass.
But see, these cameras, are these cameras moving at night? Well, I know, but usually they're moving. I keep moving, but I don't see anything moving right now.
They automatically do that, or
What lit them up?
are they? Them cameras lit.
One of the cameras on patrol last night.
Oh, they lit it up?
Yeah, they lit him up as soon as he walked up to the fence.
Here they come. Here they come.
There go.
Here they come.
Like the radio? Your fucking marsupial pouch?
You too.
You say have a nice night.
They make their fucking move tonight like they almost said. KC, I'm thinking maybe we gotta work out a deal on your radio.
So.
Here guys, I want to show you what we're dealing with right here. So you get an idea what we're dealing with.
Are you videoing?
Yeah.
Look at this trail. This is a trail. It's not like it's just one-time thing. There's the trail.
Now be careful when you get over here. It drops off. You can shine your light down there. This is, can you get the water over there?
Right there.
That's the Rio Grande. On the other side of that is Mexico.
Wow.
Yep. Right there's Mexico.
And they just came up right through here. Those are fresh tracks.
Yep. Then you have these different trails that come off this. I mean, you can see this is worn down.
And that's
Big
tomorrow.
time.
Tomorrow when we get y'all out here, you'll see all the inner tubes that are like, you know, trashed over on the side.
Well, right here we don't have a very big current.
Yeah.
There's not a big current like there is in other places. You can see the water right now is pretty still.
Yeah.
And it's not as wide here as it is in most
It's not.
places. You see it wide.
Right in behind it.
Oh,
Don't worry about it. Just
got it.
get it now. Amigo. Ven para acá, amigo. Come here. Ven para acá. Por favor.
Por favor, ¿qué onda, güey?
Come here.
Where are you at?
Amigo.
Watch out.
Watch off.
Stay right behind me. Right behind me.
Got him?
No, he's fucking dug in like an Alabama steak. He's been here somewhere.
I just saw his ass.
What?
Right behind me.
I'm coming.
No problemas, carnal. Está bien. We need more lights out here, brother.
I know.
Amigo.
I need everybody to hold them.
¿Cómo estás, amigo? Come here.
No problemas aquí. Está bien.
Pete.
In the bushes.
I can't see.
You can.
No, but I want to be.
Stay right behind me. You'll
Yeah,
be able
keep it right back there. He's up in this fucking bush somewhere. You guys actually saw him on thermal?
Yeah,
I didn't get a visual of him.
Oh, he's standing there, dude.
I'm not getting up in this fucking bush till we get more light. Está bien, carnal. No problemas aquí.
Ven para acá, amigo.
Yeah, we got spiders the size of fucking.
Oh, fuck, right there.
See those fucking things?
Oh.
I'm like, you know what?
Yeah, you know
I'll deal with
what?
the cartel before I deal with.
I might be out. I don't do spiders.
No problemas, carnal. No cuidado. Está bien. Fíjate, vámonos. Got him, Joe? Nah, he's fucking dug in like an Alabama. He's right in between us, man.
You see him?
Well, I ain't seen him yet. You saw him on thermal, right?
Yep.
I'm hearing shit moving.
He's wearing blue jeans.
You what?
Come on, Pete.
God, there's a fucking spider right there. It's a big ass spider.
Dude, you can catch a brown recluse right in your ass.
Yeah, and I'm
We're gonna
not
put you in
walking through that
emergency room.
shit. Is he right there, or is that one of us?
Here, we'll come back here.
Is that us?
In case we fucking spook him, I don't want him fucking jumping on us.
Who's that on the other side there?
That's me.
Oh, me, okay.
I saw his ass.
That's throwing stuff ahead. I don't know where the fuck these guys are.
I saw his ass. Man, he's wearing blue jeans.
Yeah, and a white shirt.
Y'all have big flashlights? Or you don't use them because it's
Well,
too
actually,
much?
we were supposed to go to a one-day border thing over there in Nogales, and then we started running to you, so like half my gear's back there.
He didn't come in the backside, dude. He went in the front side. You know that, right? Come on. Let's go. All right, dude. So, what brings you out here, Ruben?
It's the love of my country.
There you go.
Wanting to keep my states and my nation sovereign.
Wanting to keep.
The federal government won't do its job. The American people got to take matters into their own hands.
Yeah, we do. We have to. Yeah. As a matter of fact, we don't really need the federal government, especially when it fails. We don't need the federal government if it fails to make things right. It's we the people, right?
Absolutely. I mean, they spend billions of dollars a year on this, but we come out here and spend our own money, and we do more in a week than they do in a month.
Yeah.
So it's sad to see the state of affairs that we're in, but something's got to be done. We can't just leave it. Innocent Americans in jail, raped, having their property broken into.
Yeah.
This stuff can't happen. It
No.
can't.
You can see up there the big cameras too. I don't know if you can get a shot on the live stream of that. Here we go. This is a good one. group too. We got you.
So spell your first and last name.
Chris.
Well, you don't have to spell that, but last name.
Detweiler, D-E-T-W-I-L-E-R.
All right. Where are you from?
Indiana.
You drove all the way out here from Indiana?
Yep.
Wow. You're a former United States Marine, right?
Correct.
Staff Sergeant?
Correct.
Combat duty?
Yep. 5 tours.
5 tours in Iraq?
4 to Iraq, 1 to Afghanistan.
There you go. And what was your MOS?
I was 5811 was my last MOS.
Which is?
Military police.
Military police. So now you feel compelled to come down here to the Mexico border. What caused you to come down here?
Well, number one, I swore to defend this from foreign and domestic enemies. So it's not really an enemy, but it is, and we don't know who's coming through the border right now. It's not just Mexicans. It's Middle Easterners, South Americans, and we came down here to help out as much with the Border Patrol. They're letting us work side by side with them.
Okay, and when you come down here, you do patrols. What are you looking for?
We're looking for anything that's out of the ordinary, footprints, trash, clothes, inner tubes, anything that we can see that they've been trafficking through. Even if not, we were looking for immigrants mostly. Right now we're seeing large adults, not too many children around this area, but more north to the west we were seeing more children down there by the river. But here it's mostly large adults, packs of 5 or 6 down to 3.
And you mentioned, you guys mentioned this morning that the coyotes were on the other side. There was a large group of what, 25 to 50?
What they put a spotter on the other side of the river to spot, and then they send their main group over with another coyote. And you'll see them over there with cell phones, backpacks on, walking around, and talking to somebody that we don't know who it is.
Okay. And you think your presence here is a deterrence?
Oh, it's definitely a deterrence. We were told by the property owner that the Border Patrol said that after we were here the first night, that the next 2 days were silent. Usually they have anywhere on this property alone that's very small, anywhere from 20 to 30 a day. And within the last 2 days, we did patrols covering 24/7, and we've only seen, this is day 3, we've only seen probably 3 to 6 on this actual property.
Right. Wow. And when does it normally happen? When do they come over?
Most of the time it's on their shift change with Border Patrol, which is in the early morning, and then during the peak of the heat around 3:30.
The peak of the heat, right in broad daylight.
Yep.
They send them over. Wow. So what do you want to tell other Americans that feel compelled to do something? What do you want to share with them?
The biggest thing I can say is we need bodies down here in numbers, because it's a large territory, a large area to cover. Border Patrol is already thin, and they're inviting us to help them side by side, and basically we just need the numbers to cover this property that the property owners want their own security. They've been here 3 to 5 years, not have a silent night, and been able to sleep good for over 5 years. So we're wanting the American people to come down here and do as much as they can so they can get a good night's sleep at least.
And also provide material and financial support to you guys to keep your camp running.
most of these people have jobs. They walked away from families, friends, children, to come down here and give their support as long as they can. Some people can only be here for a few days. Some have been here for months.
Chris, thanks for your service to our country, man. At a time when we need it most, right? Yeah, thank you. Okay, and we'll talk a little bit about drug cartels too. All right, I'm with a good patriot named Rob. Rob, if you want to give out your last name, you can. If not, that's fine too.
I'm okay.
Okay, good deal.
Yep.
All right, so Rob is down here. What state are you from?
I'm from Indiana.
From Indiana as well.
Yep.
Okay. A lot of good patriots in Indiana here at Camp Lonestar, right?
Yep.
That's right. What compelled you to come down from Indiana to this border crossing?
Well, I was watching the news and I'd seen that they were saying there's mostly kids, or all we heard about was kids. So I wanted to come down here and see for myself what was really going across the border.
Okay.
And I haven't seen any kids because, I mean, we see the fence right here. How easy do you think a child is going to climb this fence to get over this fence? They're not.
Are they climbing the fence?
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen 3 this morning go up and over the fence. Not children, but men.
Okay. All right, so this group that came over this morning, what time was it?
I believe it was around 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Hold on one second, let me take care of this. 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning?
Yep. Okay.
Which is pretty much broad daylight.
It is broad daylight.
Is it because they're feeling comfortable, or is it because they know what the patterns are of the Border Patrol?
They know what the patterns are of the Border Patrol. They come during shift change most of the time.
Okay.
And they go right underneath the cameras because they know the cameras aren't being used.
They go right underneath the cameras. I noticed that.
Yep, right underneath the cameras.
Yeah, and I noticed that there was mud. Is that because they're coming across the river? They've got they're still all wet and they got mud on their feet.
That's right.
And they run from the river. Now I notice also that this border fence is a good half mile from the actual river.
Yeah, it's half a mile from the river.
So between the fence and the river, it's still U.S. territory, correct?
That's right. It's private property owned by U.S. citizens that they're using to cross.
Okay. How about the property where the fence is located?
The fence was bought by, I'm actually not sure which agency. I'm guessing DHS or one of them. They bought the property where the fence and the levee over here are sitting on. They bought that, so.
Okay.
That's owned by them.
All right, listen. A lot of good patriots in America. You know that. Yes. I know that.
Absolutely.
There's just something going on where they just don't realize how important the story is. Obviously, through the mainstream media, they're not getting the full picture of what this crisis is all about. You're responding to it. You see what's happening. Right. What do you have to say to all members of the citizens militia who are interested in doing what we need to do to save our country to inspire them to get down here?
Well, we have a lot of people coming across. We need more boots on the ground down here because, I mean, the men that we have here and the men that are at the other camps that are on the border are not enough to secure our border. And our ultimate goal is to have the government do something about their policy now, their immigration policy. Whether it is, I know that they have to, right now they have to wait 15 to 20 years to come here legally. I think if they do something about that, we'd have less coming across. And then this fence here is not helping at all either. So they need to do something. They need to put drones or something up so they can watch. Mm-hmm. But right now, until we get something done, we need boots down here. We need people down here to help.
Just volunteers. You guys are all about. You're not getting paid to do this,
no,
right?
We're not getting paid to do it. I mean, I'm paying out of my own pocket right now to be here, at my own expense, and all these other guys that are here at their own expense as well.
You want to encourage people to, if they want to contribute, send some supplies and stuff like that. How do we get that stuff to you?
You can donate to Camp Lonestar, or we're going to set up a GoFundMe account for that.
Okay, so we'll provide that link with this report as well. If you need to, or if you feel compelled to support this effort, obviously we need supplies, food, water, lots of different supplies.
I would say probably food, water, and then gas cards, because as you can hear, we got generators running to charge our electronics, and we have AC going to keep the guys cool, because it is hot down here. And gas is costing us about $70 a day.
$70 a day.
$70 a day.
Okay.
Which isn't a lot, but once you're down here for 2 months, you know, you got 60 days times 70. That adds up. Yeah,
I mean, it's a Patriot supply line that that we the people can come together and fund this thing. We don't.
I mean, if people can't come down here and they wanna help out, they can donate.
That's right.
And I understand not everybody that wants to come can come.
How long do you expect to be down here?
We expect to be down here until we make a difference.
Yeah, there you go. And you certainly are making a difference.
Yeah, our presence has really slowed it down, because they were coming across at all times of the day. Now it seems like they're coming across just at shift change. So.
All right, Rob, thanks for your service to our country, man.
You bet. Thank you.
Yep, thank you. All right, if you want to give your first and last name or just first name.
Rich.
Rich, where are you from?
Indiana.
From Indiana as well. Okay, group of you came down from Indiana. How'd you find out what was going on down here? I mean, how did you say, all right, I want to go to Camp Lonestar to that area?
Well, I come down with the guys who actually started the camp.
Okay.
How I found out about...
just through these guys. They just said, we're heading down?
Right. Just through Patriot Hotline. It's basically how I found out about how to get down here.
You did? Okay, good deal. So you guys got together, you came down here. What prompted you to leave your life and come down here, your regular life in Indiana? What compelled you?
The lack of men on the border. 70% of the Border Patrol pulled off to do paperwork.
Yeah.
And the property owner here has been robbed. He's been vandalized. And he asked for help.
And you just responded to the call.
That's right.
There you go. You think this is a very important time in our nation's history where people need to realize it's time for us to step up as a people?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So there are people in Texas that need to get out here as well. It'd be great if they can rotate out, correct?
It would be awesome to get some more from Texas.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, how long do you expect to stay here?
I'm here for 8 weeks.
8 weeks? Yeah. Wow, fantastic. So obviously we're going to try to get you guys as much support as we possibly can, but thank you so much for serving our country when we need you most.
I appreciate it.
Okay. All right, so we were just talking about the need for Texans to be down here, down on the border, right? And tell us your you don't have to give out your last name. Tell us your first name.
I'm Jacob, and I'm from Houston area. My dad and I are here.
Jacob from Houston, yeah. And let me ask you a question. And I want you to inspire Texans to get out here. This is the Texas border. Texas is a sovereign state, right?
Fact.
The Lone Star state. Why are Texans not securing their border themselves?
Well, people got jobs, they got stuff to do, but this is pretty dang important. We should be down here.
Yeah? Got to rotate out, take vacations and stuff like that, right?
If we can get a big group of people, we can start rotating people out here. And it's actually a little bit depressing that everybody around me is from Indiana, but at least someone else is here.
Yeah, there you go. So you want to inspire Texans to get out here and help secure the Texas border, right?
Yeah. I mean, we need more people bad. We have several other properties we need to secure up too, so.
Yeah, tell us about these property owners that you've spoken to.
Well, currently we've only spoken to one in person. We have a couple meetings here in a couple days with other people, his neighbors, and we're trying to make sure we get permission from them to set out, and we'll have our...
They like having you here, right?
Yeah, well, so we've talked to one neighbor to our east, and he seems like he's wholly okay with it. He feels a lot safer with us around here. He said he hasn't seen anybody on his property yet, and we've patrolled over there a couple times. Hasn't seen anybody since we showed up, and we haven't seen hardly anybody here since we showed up.
Well, thank you for what you're doing, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you for coming out here and getting our name out there.
Oh yeah, and it's a very, very good name. In fact, you hear a lot of stuff about in the mainstream media about how they're talking about the quote-unquote militia, the citizens militia. The citizens militia is just every single American like you and I that would be looking at this thing that really cares about their country, right? I mean, that's the way I see it. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, that would be an accurate representation.
What makes the quote-unquote militia different than just somebody that's sitting at home on YouTube and just watching this thing?
We're out here making a difference. Sitting at home on the computer, typing, well, I wish we'd do this, I wish we'd do that. Well, come down here and figure something out. New ideas are great too. You come down here and you got a better idea than we do. So we'll implement it.
So the definition of a militia member is somebody that gets up off their butt and makes it happen, right?
Makes a difference.
There you go. That's what it is.
Obviously within the bounds of the laws, but
no, that's right. Constitutional and lawful. I mean, if you guys encounter illegal immigrants coming over, what are you doing? You're just are you shooting them?
Absolutely not. We're trying to detain them and turn them into the Border Patrol.
That's right. That's right. So we already spoke to the Border Patrol as we're coming back. You guys have a really good relationship with the Border Patrol. That's awesome. Yep. You think they like the fact that things kind of die down a little bit because you guys are here?
Yeah, it seems like that would be a benefit. We haven't spoken to them on a lengthy basis, but we've talked to them seen them on patrol, and they seem like they're totally okay with us being out here. So.
Good deal. Have you seen or heard of any drug runners, mules carrying drugs over the border?
We haven't seen anything yet, but there's obviously it has to be happening. So
it has to be happening, obviously, or there wouldn't be $50 to $80 billion per year coming over the border, right?
True.
You think those drugs come over right here?
It's possible. I can't. I mean, obviously, I don't know. I've only been here for a few days, but.
Okay. What do you guys intend to do if somebody comes over? They've got a bale of marijuana, and you detain them. What are you going to do with that?
Turn it into the authorities.
There you go. That's exactly right. So you guys are operating constitutionally, lawfully, and in full support of the Border Patrol?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. The Border Patrol is not your enemy or anything like that?
In no way. And any time, the other day they had an ambulance drove back there, and we rolled out to see if we could help them.
Yeah.
Turned out they didn't need our help, but we're there to back them up if they need help, and hopefully they'll do the same for us. So.
There you go. Thank you so much.
While we're here, we got.
I want you to first of all, we're going to start right now. Give me your first. You don't have to give your last name, but give me your first name.
Ray.
Ray. Okay, where are you from?
I'm from Montgomery, Texas.
Montgomery, Texas. We were just talking about the fact that not a lot of Texans are here right within our vicinity. But what can you say to Texans to inspire them to get out here with you?
Well, they just need to, everybody worries about paperwork, ROEs and stuff. They just need to, you know, get off their ass and come out here. This is our 5th mission. And we're going to continue it till I either get planted or we stop it. We're pretty adamant about it. We do have other Texans down here at different locations, other ops that they're doing right now. But you know, that's neither here nor there. We just need to. We're doing what our president should be doing. We're doing what our governor. They need to get off their ass and understand that they're infecting the United States with illegals, busing them anywhere random and unloading them, and you know, they're not vaccinated. There's been a whole list of diseases that they carry that's been online. The doctors that have checked these people out have been threatened that to keep quiet about what they're bringing in. You know, it's just not right.
You think that's just internet rumors, or you think that's the real deal?
No, it's not internet rumors.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
You know, and I bring that up because we're also finding out, and I think it's important that the viewers know that federal employees want to blow the whistle, and the government's actually making it hard for them to do that.
Yeah, they can't do it. They can't be it. Look at Snowden. He's a hero, man. He stood up. He said his piece. He showed documentation and proof.
Right.
You know what they're doing. Our government, instead of being down here taking care of this, they're, you know,
making it worse.
They're putting their focus on crap to take it off of what we really got going down here on our borders.
Right. How much billions of dollars have been given, set aside to handle this immigration issue? How much of that billions of dollars have you received? Who's paying your way down here?
I am.
You are.
Every patriot here is paying out of his pocket.
Right. And volunteering your time.
Volunteering, whatever it takes.
You have a job you left behind?
I've been retired for quite some time.
Been retired, so it's a little bit easier for you. But
my son is down here.
Okay.
He lives on the ranch with us. He has a wife, a young child, my granddaughter. You know, and he's down here to do what he can. You know, and we have a lot of people the same way. We just America really needs to wake up. They need to understand. First off, we need help. Okay, we're spending out of our pocket, you know, $50, $60 a night just to run our generators. We have a hell of an expense. We're paying for it. We're not complaining, but we would like some of the other citizens in America to step up to the plate and help out these different guys in different units.
Yes, sir.
We're all
good. And you guys have you've got donation links and stuff like that that we'll put in this video down below the video that I'm going to be making here.
Okay.
But try to get you some support.
Yeah.
Are you a veteran?
Yes, sir, I am.
What branch of the service?
56 to 62, United States Coast Guard.
Coast Guard. Okay.
And SAW action.
Thank you for serving our country. Here, look at this. We got the Border Patrol directly on the other side of the fence, which is awesome. There we go. There's our Border Patrol. You like the Border Patrol?
I would like them to do their job.
Okay. You think it's tough to do their job?
We get along with them. We don't have any animosities, but one of our last ops that we had, Border Patrol was not patrolling the border. They were down there for ratification. Okay. So we've seen this. We witnessed it. We also made a report to the governor, Governor Perry, Abbott, that the sheriff in this one particular town and the district attorney were all on the take. And we got to stop it. If these guys would do their job and incarcerate these people, and they need to take them right back. Right now we're spending, in Texas, we're spending $22 billion a year freebie to the illegals. He just requisitioned another $1.2 billion, our president, to take care of this influx. Why not take that money, put them on a big carrier, take them over to Guatemala, land and dump them? So here's your people back. We don't need them. You know, it's cheaper for us to turn them around here at the border, process them, go through the normal process, put them back with the threat, don't come back into America unless you want to come back. Go through the right way, get your green card, come on and work. We don't mind that.
Thank you, sir.
Can I ask a question?
You bet.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, ma'am.
My understanding is it's not necessarily the Border Patrol that's not able to send them back, but they're under orders from Department of Homeland Security and ICE to
it's all
bring them on in.
It all starts in Washington. It started in Washington. It's in Washington right now. Perry makes the announcement he's going to send 1,000 National Guard. The very next day he announces, well, they won't be armed. What does that tell you? Yeah. They won't be armed. What are you going to face cowardice down here with weapons coming across the border? And they know that they're not armed. We are armed.
Right.
And we didn't come down here to hurt anybody. We didn't come down here to make any statement. We want to stop what's coming in. If we're fired on, yeah, we will fire back. That's our God-given right, period.
Yes, sir. You have a right to defend yourself. Thank you for serving our country at a time when we need you most.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, give us your first name. Tell us where you're from.
My name is Ruben. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona.
Phoenix. What brings you out here, man? What compels you to do this?
I'm a true patriot. I'm a God-fearing, red-blooded, flag-waving, cigarette-smoking, tobacco-chewing American. I love my country. I love my nation. I love my fellow patriots, and I'm willing to come out here and just lay it all down. My, life, liberty, and sacred honor, and my fortune is just to come down here and do the job that needs to be done so that innocent Americans can sleep easy at night. Because Americans live on this border, like just so many yards away from it, and they're being attacked and raped and having their property broken into and stolen. And when they reach out to the federal government to do their job and protect them, they just give them the cold shoulder and they send the money up to these, refugees or whatever you want to call them, and it just leaves Americans out in the cold. And I can't sit easy with that. I'm the kind of person that needs to take action. So when the call came out, I was on my way. There's no way I would just let my country be overrun by a foreign entity, regardless of if it's Mexican or Canadian, Lithuanian. I wouldn't care what it is. If you're coming over my border illegally and attacking my people, then I'm going to say something about it. Not only am I going to say something, I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to stand there and I'm going to stand in between you and those innocent Americans, because somebody has to. And if the federal government isn't going to do it, then the American people are going to do it.
That's right. The American people need to volunteer to do it as well.
Volunteer.
It's we don't take action just because we're paid to do so. You're not getting paid to do this, all right?
I spend my own money to come down here. I've pledged my life, liberty, and wealth just to do the job that the federal government will not do. And I'm willing to lay it all down. My life is necessary to make sure that my states, my country remains sovereign, that the Constitution is upheld, and that the people are being protected. And if the federal government won't do it, then we'll do it. The patriots will protect fellow patriots, because that's the way it should be. There's nothing else.
And protect our sovereignty, right?
Yeah,
that word sovereignty is a word that they use to demonize, patriots in the quote-unquote militia.
Yeah, absolutely.
What does sovereignty mean to you?
Sovereignty means protecting the welfare and the borders of that state, leaving that state so that it can run and operate efficiently without the fear of people coming in and disrupting the system, feeding off of welfare, coming in and criminals coming in and robbing innocent Americans, killing innocent Americans, raping innocent women. It's just, and to just stand back and allow that to happen.
The state of Texas can take care of the state of Texas. It should be able to, right?
Absolutely.
All on its own. It doesn't need any outside influences from the federal government or,
absolutely.
Right?
If there's one thing I've learned in my month and a half of patrolling the border, it's that the people can protect its people. We do not need the federal government to handle this, because they will not, number one. But number two, we don't need that. We just need fellow patriots just to stand together and say enough is enough. We will take our sovereignty and our security into our own hands and make sure that our own people are being protected.
And that's not a bad thing, is it?
Not at all. That's the American way. That's the way I was raised, is that you help your fellow patriots, you help your fellow Americans in whatever capacity you feel is necessary. To some, that's donating money. To others, like myself, that's going out into the field and
donating your time.
Donating my time and possibly my life if I have to. I mean, it's a big responsibility just to come down here and kind of take it in your own hands, but it's something I'd do 1,000 times over, because it's an honor to come down here and to do what needs to be done to make sure that Americans are safe. It's an absolute honor to do.
Awesome. Thank you, Ruben. Yeah, man, you got a good group of guys here. First of all, give us your name. Tell us where you're from.
Well, I'm Captain O'Shaughnessy from Arizona State Militia, and one of the reasons we're out here, and one of the reasons I want to get on camera, is I want to, recently in the news, even more than Reed, they've been coming out and saying how we're domestic terrorists. A little background on myself: I'm a retired firefighter from Chicago. I've spent my whole life in community service. I've basically dedicated my life to it. We are not domestic terrorists. I live by one code, and that's do no harm and protect those from those that do. And that's what we're doing out here. We have a need down here that the government's not taking care of this stuff, and we're doing it on our own dime. And the reality is I would much rather be home with my family, you know, living in America, living the American dream. But the reality is there are too many people out there trying to take it. And I need people. We need funding. All these guys are volunteering their time. We have to do this as a community, as Americans. We have to get this done. They will not do it for us. And if you think that you can sit at home and get on Facebook and have everything done for you, it's just not going to happen. So I have a plea to the American people. We need to come together and solve these problems that we're facing, or it's too big.
You know, we've run into, and you stood there, and you've seen that we've run into these leftists, these Marxists that have been out there counter-protesting us. And when we tell them that there's a problem on the border, or we say that the border is almost an undeclared war zone, what's your general assessment? You've been up and down the border from Arizona, New Mexico, Texas.
It is a war zone. It's ridiculous. They think that nothing's going on here. We have cartel members coming across left, and it's 24/7. It's just madness down here. And the more that Obama allows us to happen every day, our border patrol agents are in danger of their life. Local law enforcement, every major city, these guys are piling in, and it just increases, you know, the possibility for civilian, you know, deaths, everything. It's just ridiculous. And
this morning you ran into a group that was you saw them on the Mexico side of the Rio Grande, and there were immigrants. Did you see any women or babies?
Actually, we saw a group of about 40 or 50. There were no women or babies. And one thing, going back to the war zone, the coyote that was leading them was armed and in full camouflage. So I mean, that tells you. I mean, they are very serious about this whole invasion. I mean, they're bringing 50 people at a time.
Why do you think they need to be armed?
Well, one of the things is that over on the Mexico side is that the other coyotes will actually rob the other coyotes of the people they're bringing them across. And then they'll tell them, okay, well, since you don't have any money and you already gave it to the coyote, what's going to happen is you're going to smuggle drugs for us and we'll get you across. So that's very common. So they actually pay for these guys to be armed so that other coyotes won't steal them from them. Wow. So I mean, it's ridiculous what's going on over there.
On that side. And how did you hear this? You heard this from immigrants coming over?
From Border Patrol immigrants that have come across. I mean, that's a common practice that coyotes will actually steal, you know, the immigrants from the other coyotes.
So human trafficking is a very lucrative business.
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, and these guys, you know, full camo, brand new camo, guns, the whole 9 yards. So they're obviously making a lot of money and putting a lot of effort into this. So.
You think that business on that side is more focused on the human beings coming over, or do you think it's more focused on the drugs?
Well, absolutely. I mean, they're putting money in it. That's the thing in Mexico. You never get anything done in Mexico unless you're paying somebody, and it's all about money. It has nothing to do with helping these people or anything. It's about taking advantage of them. So.
Okay. And when they actually make it over the border, where do they go? I mean, there's a local community here where we're at. We're not gonna, we're not gonna show exactly where we're located, but where do they go?
They got American citizens that work directly with the cartels and the coyotes and the drug smugglers. I mean, they put them in little drop houses out here. They'll bring in the drugs, send them one way, and then the coyotes out here will take them and deliver them across. And a lot of them are coming over here, and they're forced into being slaves. Literally, they'll go somewhere and be getting paid $2 an hour. Because they don't have their papers, they didn't go through legally. They'll be out here on the farms, and the farmers will take advantage of them, paying them, as little as they can. They work their butts off all day and make no money. So they're being highly exploited.
So abuse all the way around.
Absolutely.
For even the labor force, they're using them as So being exploited. So this influx of immigrants that's coming over, I mean, it just sounds like this is a total and complete exploitation of these humans. No matter where they're coming from, we're compassionate people, of course. We want to take them in if they're coming from a war zone. But they're ultimately just being exploited for the purposes of running drugs or getting cheap labor.
Yeah, well, there's two things going on. You got the political side from the Democrats, which is as crazy as this is all going on. It's all for Democratic votes. They're trying to reestablish the Democratic Party, and they know that the Democratic Party is collapsing. They know that they're losing the votes. This is their last ditch effort to get more Democratic voters in here. Then you have the other side where the cartels, these guys are making $55–60 billion a year. So I mean, either way, it's just a scam. You can either be a slavery on welfare, or you could be a slave to the cartels. But the reality is these people are just being exploited all the way around.
What do you tell your team if you come across a group of illegal immigrants? What do you tell them? How do you handle it? Do you turn them over to Border Patrol?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we always carry water in our patrols. We'll give them water. Just have them sit there, because the reality is if they go through Border Patrol and they actually can get amnesty, then that's the best way to do it, through Border Patrol. If they go through any other channels, they're just going to be more exploited. So we'll just take them. We'll call them Border Patrol. They'll come and pick them up.
So your work is twofold. It's obviously to we have to help with law enforcement. Our borders are wide open, but it's also in the spirit of taking care of these human beings that are coming across being exploited.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Good. So there's guns down here, obviously for your safety, but there's no shooting or anything like that.
So far, I mean, as you know from the news, everybody that's been doing the shooting, it's been from the Mexican side. Okay. That's what we've been experiencing.
So you have no other alternative, I'm assuming, just from my observations, you have no other alternative than to be heavily armed because of your opposition to wanting to kill you.
We're not wearing the plate carriers in 120-degree weather for the looks. I mean, we need our body armor, we need our weapons, because we have had many encounters down here with armed cartel members. So
yeah. I want you to define, because I have a definition of a citizens militia member. It's just hardworking Americans. They can volunteer their time to come down here and to do what the system has failed to do.
Absolutely.
But in your opinion, the militia is receiving a bad name. It has almost a negative connotation because of the liberally biased media. But in your opinion, who is the militia to you?
Well, that's exactly what you said. It's just hard-working, good American patriots that see where this country's going and believe in this country, believe in the Constitution, believe in what our founding fathers set forward to build this country on. And plus, we see our we have friends of Border Patrol. I mean, as you saw in the other video, I mean, these guys want us down here. They're putting their lives on the line, and they're not getting the backup and the equipment they need. And we have to be down here. We have to protect our fellow Americans, just period.
That's right. So. Okay. Captain O'Shaughnessy, thank you very much for your service to our country at a time when we need it most.